Hi there, I'm Jarrad Brown, Australian expat financial planner based here in Singapore. In this video, I want to share with you some simple tips on how you can find a property to rent in Singapore. If you're an Australian expat thinking of moving to Singapore, or you're already here looking for a place to rent, or you're a little bit concerned about what the price of your rental is going to be when your lease comes up for renewal, this video should help you to shed some light on how to find properties available and how to avoid getting ripped off when it comes to the actual rental price. So let's dive right in. So there are 4 simple tips when it comes to finding a property to rent as to where to look. First and foremost, the most obvious one is to look on the property listing websites. You've got Property Guru, you've got EdgeProp, PropNext, 99.co. There are plenty of options out there. You will find that a lot of properties will get listed on multiple websites. You may also find that some listings, particularly on the lesser known websites, might have already been taken. They don't necessarily do the best of jobs in terms of cleaning up those databases and maintaining the listings. But you will find that with the major websites like Property Guru, that a lot of the listings are up to date, and it's worth reaching out to the agent to see what else they may have available. Now, when you are reaching out to the agent, make sure you're very specific around your maximum prices. Otherwise, you may find that they take that as a license to show you some prices or places rather, that might be well and truly outside of your budget. So that's your first option, your first point of call, to have a look at the websites and see what's available. The second option is to speak to colleagues. If you're moving to Singapore with an employer, speak to the HR department, speak to your boss, reach out to colleagues and ask the question, is anybody looking to move back, maybe even to break a lease? That might allow you to take over their lease at the same amount that they're on. They may have a colleague or a staff member that is exiting, returning to Australia, or moving elsewhere. This might be a simple way to get into a property where the landlord already knows the company, particularly if it's a corporate lease. So that can be a good way to find some properties that might not be listed on the various property listing websites. The third option is to have a look at the lease takeover groups on Facebook and other social media channels. Given the rising inflation, given cost of living in general, the rental prices have been a bit ridiculous over the last 12 months in Singapore. Naturally, this is going to lead to more Australian expats and other expats in general thinking and looking to move back home because cost of living is just getting a little less comfortable here in Singapore. What this means is they may be looking to break their lease early, and you may find that's a good option for you to actually take over the lease and maintain their same rental price that they're paying. My fourth tip for you when it comes to finding properties available to rent in Singapore is to check out the URA website. This website lists the actual transacted prices for leases in Singapore. You can search by the name of the building that you're looking for. You can search by the size of the unit, the date that the lease was signed, and this gives you a great indication, not going by the listing prices, which can sometimes be quite ridiculous, particularly with the range that you will see from the same sort of unit, but what the prices are actually being signed at. This gives you a good indication on a negotiation starting point. You may want to take those prices and ask for 10 to 20% less. It just gives you a good starting point for what's actually happening in the market rather than what the headlines are suggesting. So there are 4 simple ways to find properties available for rent in Singapore and to avoid getting too ripped off by the rental market here in Singapore. If you have any questions at all, drop me a note in the comments or feel free to reach out to me directly. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe and I look forward to seeing you next time.